Today I'm going to be showing you phrasal verbs for when you want to talk about family. So let's get started. Take after. Now, to take after someone is to be similar to that person. Usually when we are saying take after, we are referring to an older member of our family who could still be alive or has long since passed away. Usually someone like a grandparent or great-grandparent. We could take after someone in the sense that we look like them, speak like them, or even act like them. An example of this in a sentence is, he takes after his grandfather because he has black hair and green eyes, just like his grandfather. Look after. Look after is another way of saying care for. An example of this could be, I must look after my nephew over the weekend, meaning I'm going to take care of him because his mother and father are going to be away. So as an adult, I must take care of that child. Next one is bring up. Now, bring up is referring to how or where we lived and were raised by our parents or guardians as children. An example, my parents brought me up on a farm. So when I was a child, I lived on a farm with my parents. So I was brought up on a farm. It has the same meaning as raise, to raise a child. You might hear other examples of this in questions like, how were you brought up? I was brought up to respect my elders and always have a good work ethic. So it could be referring to where and how we are raised. Grow up is pretty simple. We are growing physically, mentally, and emotionally. Again, this is similar to bring up, but simply talking about the process of growing up. So you could ask a question like, where did you grow up? I grew up in New York, you could say, or wherever you are from. Another way of using this in a sentence could be referring to the period of time when you were growing up. So to describe that period of time, I might say, when I was growing up, my town was a very little town. It was not as crowded as it is now. So notice in that sentence, I'm referring to a period of time when I was growing up, meaning the time when I was a child or adolescent and I was getting older. Named after. Now, named after is when your name is the same name as somebody else who came before you. Example, I am named after my grandfather. Another person's name might be John. His great-great-grandfather's name was John. He is named after his great-great-grandfather. We could also use it to describe other people whose parents named them after famous people. Look up to. To look up to someone is to admire someone. An example of this could be a sentence like, I look up to my grandmother since she raised 10 children. So it is pretty much when you admire someone for their achievements or strength in character. Get along. Now, to get along with someone is for you to like them and for them to like you. Maybe you have the same interests, or maybe you just have mutual respect with that person. So you get along. It's like being friends. Now we can use it with family and also friends, people, or even animals in general. So an example of this in a sentence could be as simple as, I get along with all of my siblings. I even get along with my cat. Meaning, I am on friendly terms with my siblings and my cat. The last phrasal verb I have for you for today is to live up to. Now, to live up to something or someone is to be as good as others have expected you to be. An example of this in a sentence could be, my parents wanted me to be an astronaut, but I didn't live up to that expectation. I became a teacher instead. Something else we can live up to is our reputation. as a person or in our professional lives. So you could say something like, he really lives up to his reputation, meaning he is really good. If his reputation is good and he is living up to it, he is very good at his job or his profession. Thank you for listening to me today, and see you next time.